Hello, and welcome to Growing Strong Roots, an occupational therapist's perspective on parenting, self regulation, and resilience. I'm your host, Leanne Bloom, owner and occupational therapist at Oak Bloom OT in Oakland, California. At Oak Bloom, we provide holistic occupational therapy for children, focusing on increasing functional life skills through interest based learning and family involvement. As a mom and a therapist working with families for many years, I've seen firsthand how overwhelming it can be to raise sturdy children. My goal is to share science based strategies, real life stories, and resources that can help you nourish those roots so that you and the children in your life can grow stronger, sturdier, and more resilient. Let's root down together, water those roots so individuals and families can bloom to their fullest potential. Hi, I'm Leanne Bloom, and today I want to share a little bit about myself and my journey and how it's shaped me into who I am today as an occupational therapist and as a mom. Obstacles and setbacks are an important part of self-discovery, and my challenges have assisted me in finding the most authentic path and career choice. In this podcast, I'm going to share how I've navigated my own setbacks and how I use those experiences when working with kids and families. As an occupational therapist, I help people find meaning and connection through work and daily tasks. For children, play, school, and home tasks are their occupations. Parenting and caregiving, by the way, are also occupations. I've been practicing as an OT for 15 years. Working with hundreds of families and their children. I've been a part of occupational therapy from all sides. I've worked in schools, completed assessments, been a part of court cases, advocating for children, spoken at conferences, provided presentations to school districts and private schools. I'm also a consumer of occupational therapy for my son, who's not neurotypical. Occupational therapy focuses on the doing of things as a way to foster success in daily life skills. In my private practice, I mostly focus on self-care tasks, routines, art, crafts, cooking, movement, and play. These occupations pull from my extensive art and teaching background. I never thought I would become an OT and have a master's in science and applied health. I was raised by professional musicians and studied and worked as a teacher, fashion designer, craftsperson, a photographer, a DJ, a massage therapist, before committing to becoming an OT. The kids and families I work with benefit from this myriad of experiences. When facing disabilities, a combination of determination and creativity help get around these stumbling blocks, whether they are hidden or obvious. I was not a typical student. I was disengaged from the material being taught and had undiagnosed ADHD. I suffer from hypermobile joints, chronic neck and back pain, and if I don't follow my exercise regimen, I can't do a lot of basic daily activities. Much worse than my physical limitations are my dad's. For most of his life, he has had the physical disability of his legs not working. Experiencing my own pain and witnessing my dad's mobility challenges taught me empathy for working with people who are struggling. And at the same time, I'm inspired by his positive attitude and perseverance. Even without the use of his legs, he's still able to travel the world every year and still performs as a musician. The disability of sensory sensitivities is often an overlooked condition that is real. I didn't realize how sensitive I am in the world until I started doing this work with kids with a similar challenge. I noticed how many adaptations I use for myself. I've been giving myself occupational therapy throughout my life. It takes me longer to complete certain cognitive tasks because of sensory sensitivities. This showed up in school primarily and interfered with me obtaining a meaningful career that also matched my cognitive abilities. I'm distracted by auditory stimuli. Tags bother me. I hate socks, but I'm always cold. Pants that aren't stretchy are impossible. Light that's too bright hurts my eyes and gives me a headache. But I love stimulation as well. I love bright, colorful, changing lights. I like loud music. I love to move and dance. I'm a person who can't sit still for long. I like to talk and interact and engage and learn every day from sun up to sundown. A friend of mine describes me as a stormtrooper ferret, which is actually pretty accurate for how I approach problem solving in life. Combine the determination and toughness of a stormtrooper with the curiosity of a ferret. That's me. Like the ferret, wiggling around barriers with curiosity, and the stormtrooper who doesn't give up. These kids, my clients, are like me in that they are different and they need to take a different approach to challenges. They can't always take the straight ahead approach towards satisfying life like neurotypical kids. What they learn with me is a little bit more creative approach. It's different and always determined. When you're working with a strong-willed kid who's self-injuring when being put down to sleep, or you have a sensory sensitive child who can't do summer camp because they run off from the group, these are the kids that need a different approach to learn how to be in the world. That's where I come in, with experience as a professional, as a parent, and as an atypical learner myself. Looking back, it wasn't just laziness or lack of discipline that made me change paths so often. It was that I hadn't found my strengths yet, what felt right for me. For the kids that I see, I want parents to understand that it's not necessarily laziness that's getting in their way. It's that they haven't learned the adaptations to armor themselves, to be the stormtrooper, nor the compelling interests that will motivate their inner ferret. For a long time, I saw DJing, photography, arts and crafts, broadcasting, radio, massage therapy as false starts and failures. All those career efforts weren't failures. They were just valid steps on the road to my own version of a satisfying life. I hadn't thought that I had found my true career yet, but all those career choices did end up informing the work I do now. I offer broad experience combined with my clinical training to help kids and families find the right path to thriving, not just surviving. Starting something new is hard. So children need their armor, aka their sensory tools and environmental adaptations to protect them from that difficulty. Parents need their own armor to manage their feelings while pushing their child to do something hard, especially in an era where we're competing for their attention and interest with screens. With coaching, we give the parents the tools that they need to stay strong for their kids. Collaborative parent sessions are the secret sauce to making real progress in occupational therapy. Now, talking about the other part of the approach, the ferret half, screens are ferret killers. How can a child develop their interests when they're competing with the nefariously engineered attention-stealing technology like YouTube? By following the child's interests, we're exploring different occupations and seeing where their strengths lie. The thing that comes easily to a person that other people find difficult is the thing that makes someone special. That is what we want to help your kids find. It's the work that OTs, kids, and parents have to do together in therapy to discover the just right coping tools and or sensory strategies to be able to do hard things that aren't immediately rewarding. What it's like to raise a hard kid, where daily life activities feel like pulling teeth. It shouldn't be this hard, I would say to myself many times, but it is hard. It's hard for me as a parent, and I imagine it's hard for my son too. He is a sensory sensitive child, and the world just seems like a hard place for him. When he was little, getting him into a car seat was a pain. Brushing his teeth and going to the dentist was difficult. Putting his face in the water, cutting his nails, getting him to sleep in his own bed. These were all so hard. Things are still hard for him as a preteen, but now we have a better and ever-evolving system in place for him to practice independence and self-reliance. Equally important as a parent, I have better coping strategies and ways of working with a child whose initial response to novel activities is no. I have learned so much from parenting him, and my practice benefits. These strategies that I share with family are tried and true in my home and in my business. Together, we refine workable, customized solutions for children and parents having a hard time. My journey has never been linear, but it has always been inventive. I have followed my curiosity. Out of necessity and desire, I have learned resilience. I've grown an interwoven mesh of strong roots, fulfilling my dreams to reach the sky and bloom. And I want your kids to do the same. I love hearing from listeners with questions for future episodes, and I'm also available for parenting consultations. So reach out to me on my socials or through my website, oakbloomot.com. Thanks for listening.